In a stunning move just a week away from the start of the 2025 NFL season, the Dallas Cowboys have traded away superstar edge rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. And today on Steelers Talk, I'm going to be breaking down 3 specific ways that this trade affects the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into the 2025 campaign. Before we get into the video today, guys, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We are so close to 90,000 subscribers here on the channel. What we provide for you guys every single day is free, informative, and extensive Steelers coverage, also breaking news coverage every time Omar Khan makes a big move. Then we also go live at least twice a week before the Steelers games every single Sunday. And then, of course, every single week we go live for our live watch parties where we react live to every single Steelers game. So it's all 100% free, guys. Click that subscribe button for the best place to be a Steelers fan anywhere on YouTube. All right, so the report came in today from Adam Schefter saying ESPN sources, Cowboys are trading 3-time All-Pro linebacker Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. I actually think Ian Rappaport had the original news today. Maybe not. Maybe it was Schefter. But Schefter said Parsons and the Packers already have reached agreement on a 4-year, $188 million contract. His agent and from Athletes First had a hand in the trade and ultimately negotiating the record-breaking contract that includes $120 million fully guaranteed at signing and makes Parsons the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. So the full terms of the trade, the Cowboys get 2 first-round picks, the Packers' next 2 first-rounders, and Kenny Clark, a very good defensive tackle to pair with Osa Odigizua there in the Cowboys' defense. And, of course, the Packers land arguably the best defensive player in football to pair with Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness, who now the Packers can kind of join the New York Giants, in my opinion, as teams that definitely challenge the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of having the best edge rusher trio in the National Football League. So the ways that this affects the Steelers. Number one, of course, if you'll remember, the Cowboys traded for George Pickens earlier this offseason, and in that trade, the Steelers got a 3rd-round pick in 2026. And that 3rd-round pick, because the Cowboys just got a hell of a lot worse, is looking a hell of a lot better right now. So, George, I hope you're happy there in Dallas. Hope you will enjoy winning 6 games this year with the Dallas freaking Cowboys, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side, my friend. But the Steelers certainly looking good with that trade right now. That 3rd-round pick that they got from Dallas, I'm guessing, is going to be pretty high up in the order there in round 3. Another way this directly affects the Pittsburgh Steelers is that, of course, we play these guys in Week 8 at home at Acrisure Stadium on Sunday Night Football with Aaron Rodgers' revenge game versus the Packers, and it's going to be second-year offensive tackle, really rookie offensive tackle, though, in terms of his development as an NFL player. Troy Fautanu, the second-year player out of Washington, the Steelers starting right tackle, is going to have to go up against Micah Parsons in that matchup. So that's going to be a huge test for Troy in the middle of the season here. And the Steelers definitely going to have a game plan that involves getting the ball out of Aaron's hands quickly, because Micah Parsons is going to be coming, man. So who you got? Let me know down there in the comments section when it comes to that Week 8 matchup. Do you still feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come away from that game victorious and Rodgers will get his revenge against his former team, type PIT? Or do you think Micah Parsons, Jordan Love, and the Green Bay Packers are going to come into our house and beat us on Sunday Night Football, type GB? Down there in the comment section to let me know what you think. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So in just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at Prize Picks. And while I'm talking about Prize Picks today, let me know down there in the comment section who you got in this matchup. All right, now let's talk about our sponsor today at Prize Picks. And college football is finally here. Actually, as I'm talking right now, multiple college football games are going on, and there's even more coming up over the weekend. So don't miss any of the action this season by downloading the Prize Picks app for free on your phone today. Prize Picks is super simple to play. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks also puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports this football season, guys. So join the millions of users and sign up today. You guys can see our Prize Picks projection for this weekend here, at least mine. I'm taking the more on Garrett Nussmeier's passing yards as they go up against the Clemson Tigers. I'm taking the more on passing touchdowns for Nico Iamaleava, and I'm taking the more on rushing yards for Lenore Sellers. So if you guys want to get a play in before the action begins on Saturday, you guys can download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup with our friends at Prize Picks today. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Now, this one might be a little bit more controversial, especially if you're not a big Dak Prescott guy, but I do think that with Dallas kind of leaning more towards a rebuild in the future, Dak Prescott could be somebody that could be hitting the trade market, and if Aaron Rodgers retires and the Steelers still want to kind of continue on with this win-now type of window, Dak Prescott could make some sense for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2026. All right, it all starts with how Dallas does this year, because if they win, double-digit wins and they make the playoffs and they're, a good playoff team this year, then of course they're not going to reset at the quarterback position, especially because they have so much guaranteed money already tied up into Dak Prescott with not only a signing bonus but also a restructure this offseason. So, obviously if the team is good, they're not going to be moving on from him, right? So they have to be bad this year, but I honestly think that might actually happen. That defense just took a huge hit. They're not going to be able to run the football. They don't have a great pass-protecting offensive line either, and they got a very shaky first-year head coach in Brian Schottenheimer. So I feel like that's like a 6-win team, and that's obviously going to make some decisions pretty difficult for Jerry Jones and company there in Dallas next offseason. And, if they do start that rebuild, Dak could be on the block. He's getting older. He's extremely expensive, and if Dallas wants to start over, get a new quarterback next offseason and maybe draft one in the first round if they have a high enough draft pick, then it makes sense for them to unload Dak Prescott for a decent draft pick because he is still a good quarterback. I would still consider him probably for sure a top 12 quarterback. He's a borderline top 10 guy, really good mental processor, really accurate with the football, all that different stuff. And if Aaron Rodgers retires here after one season, guys, and Pittsburgh still feels like that they can win now with this current group, with Jalen Ramsey, with DK Metcalf, especially because heading into 2026, Cam Hayward could be going into his final season as an NFL player. He says he only wants to play 2 more years. And if you know anything about drafting rookie quarterbacks to start, that pretty much takes away your chances of winning a Lombardi trophy. So if the Steelers are still in win-now mode next offseason, but Rodgers has retired and he's not an option, then that's when it makes sense to potentially go out and make a trade for a guy like Dak Prescott. And, if Pittsburgh is good this year with Rodgers, which is something that we expect here on Steelers Talk this year, we think the Steelers are going to win double-digit games again this year, make the playoffs, and that's going to put you, at the very least in the low 20s like this team has been in the last several seasons. And if they're really good and they're winning playoff games like we're hoping this team does this year, and the quarterback class this year, maybe you only have 3 or 4 guys that are going to be going in the first round, the Steelers might not be in the best position to draft a rookie quarterback next year. So, it's not as crazy as you might think that the Steelers might be in on Dak Prescott. Certain things need to happen in order for him to become a realistic option. But with this trade, I think that possibility becomes much more likely. And as you guys can see here, if you trade for Dak Prescott next year, the cap hits aren't nothing, right? $40 million, $45 million, and $55 million are his base salaries in 2026 through 2028. That's not inexpensive, but with the cap going up every year and the quarterback market going up every year, and the fact that Dallas already has millions of dollars tied up into this deal with a signing bonus that they already paid out, and then also another restructure that they put out this offseason. So they're on the hook for a lot of this contract already. So even though Dak Prescott is technically the most expensive quarterback in the league in terms of the contract he has with Dallas right now, he would not be the most expensive quarterback for the Steelers if they end up acquiring him next offseason. And my take on Dak, guys, is obviously you would want a quarterback with a better playoff track record going into 2026 if you do end up getting him, but he is somebody that can pick apart defenses with his mind. He's extremely accurate. He's one of the best mental processors in the National Football League. So is he the best quarterback in the league? No. Do I want this team to find a long-term option at the quarterback position? Yes, and honestly, right now I would prefer probably to take a quarterback in next year's NFL draft. But like, if they ended up trading for Dak Prescott, I would understand the reasons why they would do it. You get a guy that's still a really good QB, probably top 12 in the league. You pair him up with a really good defense, probably the best defense he's had in his career, and you could maybe do something with Dak Prescott in the 3 years he would be under contract here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comments section. Would you be down to trade for Dak Prescott next offseason if Aaron Rodgers retires and he is put on the trade block? Give me a yes or a no down there in the comment section. I'm sure we're going to get some crazy comments down there in the comments because Dak is very, very volatile and very contentious. All right, that'll be it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here for this very momentous moment in the NFL season. I mean, just a week away from the year, you get maybe the league's best defensive player in his prime being traded to a different team. That is just absolutely monumental news. I mean, the waves are going to be felt all across the National Football League. I'm excited to see how this season plays out for the entire league, including the Pittsburgh Steelers here, guys. So if you guys want daily updates on the black and gold all season long, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, here we go, Steelers.